Attorney General candidate Jay McMahon wants this to be incumbent Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey's first and last term in office. The Cape Cod resident is a Republican and an attorney who says Healey's office has been soft on crime. He says he would focus on enforcing laws instead of pursuing what he says is a liberal political agenda, a charge that he levels against Healey. I asked him why he's running now.
I'm running because we can do so much better here in Massachusetts. I've announced about a year ago, and I've been watching the Attorney General's office, not necessarily to run for it myself. I've been watching and seeing what she's done, and I thought that there's got to be a strong candidate that will come out and run against her, somebody from the Republicans, because of what I see her doing is infringing on our civil rights. I see her actually setting aside our public safety for political expediency, and I'm just a little troubled by that. And so I started actually campaigning for that we got to do something about this, but I wasn't actually thinking of myself as running. And I did that for several months, and I noticed no one is stepping up from the Republicans. I was hoping that maybe some kind of some either retired judge or a prosecutor, federal prosecutor, anybody that would step up. No one. Everybody's watching. Everybody's complaining. No one's stepping up. And then
so you did step up.
Well, it went like this. We had a small meeting of some people, and I'm sort of going at it as, I can't believe someone hasn't got the fortitude to stand up and go over there. And three guys stood up and pointed right at me and said, yeah, it's you.
So here we are.
Here we are.
You are running. And the opioid crisis has been one of your primary campaign talking points that you've discussed as something
Absolutely.
that you think is a priority. President Trump recently signed a law to fight the opioid epidemic. And among other items, it includes $6 billion to fight this crisis. Do you think that's enough money to, as he says, end the opioid crisis?
The answer is yes. It's more than enough. What we have right now is mishandled badly. But I have to give it to Governor Baker. He is making steps and strides to reduce the opiate deaths in Massachusetts. Now, let me just put it in perspective. 2010, Maura Healey joined the Attorney General's office. She was a manager there. And in 2010, the deaths by opiate addiction were a little more than 500 a year in Massachusetts. In 2016, a year and a half after she had been the Attorney General, the deaths by opiate addiction were 2,100. It's a quadruple rise. Now, what people don't seem to grasp is that these are not like from 500 to 2,000, 1,500 more people. It's 2,000 each year. In other words, it's out of control.
And so you're connecting her time in office to those deaths. But
all I'm
if you
saying,
talk to...
It's obvious whatever she's doing, it's not working.
But if you talk to public health officials, they'll say that the opioid crisis in large part was driven by overprescription of opioid drugs from a pharmaceutical perspective. And we saw the current Attorney General, Maura Healey, come out and sue big pharmaceutical. So isn't she doing what she can do?
No. And here's the thing. It's one thing to sue, and she's done this. She actually hasn't sued them. She's filed what we call administrative actions against CVS and Walgreens, as if they're causing the problem. You can't get any opioids out of CVS or Walgreens unless you have a script. So you got to go before that, because it's not CVS, it's not Walgreens. It's not like you go in there with a script, and when you do have a script, your physician has already sent it electronically anyway, so they kind of pretty much are ready for you when you get there. So you bring your script, and it's not like you're looking up on the wall and it says, hey, I noticed you got Valium on sale, $10 for a dozen. Can you give me 2 packs? I mean, it's all controlled. So CVS and Walgreens not the problem. So you say, well, maybe the physicians are overprescribing, and there could be an issue there. Say that they were overprescribing. They're not overprescribing now. The deaths are still rising now. So what is the real problem? The problem is we have people who who are opiate addicts. And how they got there is of concern to me. But the fact that they are there and we're not really doing anything about it, to me, that's the greater evil.
And I know this is an issue you're passionate about, but I want us to move on to others, so I'm going to leave that there. Something that you've said is that Maura Healey hasn't been tough on crime. You sort of alluded to it in the last bit of discussion that we had there. But she's had the largest Massachusetts police union come out and endorse her, and I think it's 39 chiefs of police. So why would those people step up and support her if she's soft on crime?
Because they're political allies. That's the only reason they're doing that. If they took an honest look at this, they would say, "Look, who was involved in the raid, the most recent bust that was made in Sanctuary City, Lawrence? Who was there? It was all fed.
About the fentanyl trafficking case?
Absolutely, it was all fed. And then just earlier this week, there was another raid in Methuen, 2 towns over from Lawrence. Again, the first raid in Lawrence, they had enough fentanyl to kill half the population of Massachusetts. The other half, to kill the rest of us, they got in Methuen. It's crazy.
But I've heard the Attorney General say that she has cooperated with federal officials working on state trafficking and other things.
Then you got to ask the feds about that, because you will see, if you read the Globe and the Herald, you will see that the feds, Todd Lyons from ICE and a few others, and even Andrew Lelling. In fact, if it weren't for Andrew Lelling, there would be no bust at all. This Attorney General is doing absolutely nothing on crime. She is soft on crime, and she has come out and said that the Massachusetts sentencing guidelines are too harsh. I'm telling you right now, they're not harsh enough. The only way to end this opiate epidemic in the Commonwealth is to get harsh on the purveyors of this poison, the drug traffickers. If we get harsh on the drug traffickers, we will do one or two things: put them in jail or drive them out of state. I don't care which way we do it, but it will stop them from selling this poison.
I want to have us talk about some issues that are very specific here to Western Massachusetts. The Berkshire Museum case, I don't know if you followed that at all here.
Only a little bit.
Only a little bit? All right. Well, the Attorney General did get involved in that case, and they investigated the museum's proposed plans for months, and then in court opposed the sale, but then ultimately worked with the museum on its plan for those sales artworks ultimately.
Right.
Do you think that you would have followed the same course?
You know something? I would have probably cooperated with the museum's plans from the beginning. They know what they need to do. See, sometimes the Attorney General just jumps into the middle of something, jumps into the mix, and is trying to be some kind of a social warrior. I'll give you a perfect example. You mentioned
the head of public charities. Isn't the Office of Attorney General, they're charged with overseeing public charities?
They are charged with overseeing it, but many times they will determine what's the most politically expedient move to make when it comes to that sort of thing. I've seen it happen in the Department of Public Utilities, where she will go where, for instance, say Columbia Gas. You heard what happened up in the Merrimack Valley. Absolutely. All right, we got houses blowing up all over the place because of natural gas. Now, there's no question there was negligence on the part of Columbia Gas. There isn't, because what they did was they overpressurized the mains going to the homes.
To be fair, that's still under investigation, but go ahead, continue.
Well, no, but everybody knows that's what happened, because they're working on the mains. And what they did was, when they took out the old mains and they put in the new ones, they didn't put the reducers in. Now, that comes down to not only safety, regulations, but also training. Now, Steve Bryant, who was the president of Columbia, in April, when he was before the Department of Public Utilities, he was asking for a rate increase. And the reason he needed the rate increase is he laid it out, what he wanted to do. And, of course, Maura Healey, as always, gets in there and says, no rate hikes. Well, I got to tell you something. I got a business degree. And I know that you look at things and you look at reasons why people want to do things or need to do things. Every corporation is not evil. Start first by looking at them. If you have to audit their books, well, then do it. But they're not evil from the get-go. So there you have it.
I'm I'm going to move us on to something else. So according to the Pioneer Institute, it's easier for out-of-state residents to apply and get accepted to the University of Massachusetts system than it is for in-state residents. Do you see this as a form of discrimination?
The way I see it is that Massachusetts needs to prioritize their students first. Massachusetts students should get first crack at all our state-funded institutions. And then, whatever's left, make it up somewhere by out-of-state people.
But the Pioneer Institute found that the grading system for SATs that's used for those out-of-state students is less stringent than for the in-state. So do you see that as a type of discrimination or not?
Sounds it to me.
Okay.
Absolutely it does. I mean, why is there always two different standards? Why does Massachusetts do this? I've seen this in not just in this situation, but I see it in civil service exams. I see it in our hiring practices. There's something about Massachusetts that we don't favor our local people.
The Massachusetts Republican Assembly has recently launched a hashtag called #BlankBaker2018, calling on Republicans to not vote for Charlie Baker in the upcoming election. Obviously, you know Charlie Baker is a Republican.
I do.
How are you going to vote?
I'm voting for Charlie Baker.
Despite the Republican Assembly saying, skip the race.
I am voting for Charlie Baker. Charlie Baker has endorsed me, and I endorse him.
All right.
He is the Republican standard bearer.
We have about 45 seconds left, and I want to give you a chance to talk about why you think that voters should cast their ballot for you in this upcoming election.
Well, look, we have an opioid crisis here in Massachusetts. People are dying. 2 years ago, we had the deaths were 2,100. Now they were 2,000 last year. Maura Healey's taking credit for it, but Charlie Baker gets the credit for that because he made it so that Narcan would be available for first responders. I have a three-prong approach to resolve the opiate crisis.
About 10 seconds.
Successful and effective rehabilitation, drying up the source of heroin and fentanyl, and extreme prosecution going to the max to these purveyors of poison.